Last time I asked, true or false, when Poliwhirl evolves into Poliwrath, the swirl on its belly changes direction. The answer is false. The swirl changes direction when the first form Poliwag evolves into Poliwhirl. Now on with today's episode. Brace yourselves, this one's a long one. Professor Pokemon here, with everything you ever wanted to know about Charizard. Charizard is number 6 in the Kanto Dex, 236 in the Johto Dex, and number 85 in the Central Kalos Dex. It is known as the Flame Pokemon, which it shares that name with its pre-evolved form Charmeleon, as well as Flareon, Moltres, and Infernape. Charizard shares a lot of traits with its pre-evolution, including its ability, Blaze, and hidden ability, Solar Power, leveling rate of a medium slow, capture rate of 45 or 5.9%, and of course the gender ratio of 87.5 male to a 12.5 chance of it being female. Charizard, as you see, has wings, and thus has picked up a secondary typing of flying. Charizard is 5 foot 7 inches or 1.7 meters and weighs 199.5 pounds or 90.5 kilograms. Its stats are shown below, with special attack being the highest. Defeating a Charizard gives you an EV yield of 3 in special attack upon leveling up. In Generation 1, Charizard's base special stat was 85. One more thing to note about Charizard's stats are they are exactly the same as Typhlosion's. Being a final form of a Fire-type starter, Charizard is able to learn the move Blast Burn, a very powerful Fire-type move that has a power of 150 and causes the Pokemon to recharge for a turn after using, similar to a Hyper Beam or Frenzy Plant. Charizard's shiny form has changed significantly since the second generation. In Gen 2, its body is purple with green wings. Gen 3 onward has Charizard as a charcoal gray with red wings and is personally one of my favorite shiny variations. Its name is pretty obvious, coming from char, meaning to burn, and lizard. Its Japanese name, Lizardon, is a combination of lizard and either dragon or don, which is ancient Greek for tooth, which is a common suffix in dinosaurs. Let's take the Iguanodon as an example. Other notable names are French, which, breaking down that name, we get Draco, which is Latin for dragon, and Afu, again, I don't know my French, which means there's a fire. Its German name, again, we have Glut, which is the German word for ember, and either the word for dragon or the word for rocket. Its Cantonese, Chinese, and Mandarin Chinese names both literally translate to fire-breathing dragon. Charizard's design has a lot of Western influence. It resembles a stereotypical European dragon, which are heavily associated with the element of fire in Western folklore. Considering the lizard basis of its pre-evolutions and a dragon here, it could also be a reference to real-world lizards that are named after dragons like the Komodo dragon or flying dragon, two categories of lizards with which Charizard shares some loose physical similarities with. A lot of its Pokédex entries describe how hot Charizard's flame is, being able to melt pretty much anything. Its red and blue entry state spits fire that is hot enough to melt boulders, known to cause forest fires unintentionally. Its stadium entry says its fiery breath reaches incredible temperatures. It can quickly melt glaciers weighing 10,000 tons. Some Dex entries state that its flames get hotter with experience. Crystal version says it uses its wings to fly, and I'll get back to that in a minute. The temperature of its fire increases as it gains experience in battle. There are few entries that talk about Charizard's flight. Its wings can carry this Pokemon close to an altitude of 4,600 feet. It blows out fire at very high temperatures. Okay, if this is true, then why couldn't Charizard learn the move Fly in red and blue? Well, at least they fixed that in yellow and onward. Charizard is capable of flaring up its tail to a whitish blue flame. Gold version says if Charizard becomes furious enough, the flame at the tip of its tail flares up to a whitish blue color. And the last Dex entry I want to talk about is that it doesn't burn anything weaker than itself. Unless you're a 10-year-old trainer who has a Charizard who doesn't like to listen to him. More on that in a minute. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire say Charizard flies around the sky in search of powerful opponents. It breathes fire of such great heat it melts everything. However, and here's the interesting part, it never turns its fiery breath on anything weaker than itself. A couple Charizard characteristics mentioned in the anime is that only weak Charizard show off its power. It also reveals that Charizard can actually swim underwater and the flame on its tail can still keep burning underwater. as evident in the Pokemon Origins special, and also in the main series when Charizard gets thrown in a lake and its flame stayed lit. Speaking of the anime, let's talk about some major appearances in the show, starting with this 10-year-old boy I mentioned a minute ago. Ash's Charmeleon evolved into Charizard in Attack of the Prehistoric Pokemon to rescue Ash from Aerodactyl. However, despite rescuing Ash, Charizard still decided to disobey him. This disobeying nature caused some major problems for Ash and cost him some important battles, including a battle against Blaine and Riddle Me This. Charizard flew out of the ring when battling Blaine's Rhydon, though that wasn't the main reason why Ash lost, blame Pikachu for that, but that was one major factor on why Ash wasn't able to win his Volcano badge in that episode. However, in the very next episode, Volcanic Panic, while saving the gym from an erupting volcano, Ash's Charizard saw Blaine's Magmar as a worthy opponent and actually obeyed Ash long enough for him to get that Volcano badge. However, Charizard decided to disobey Ash in the Indigo League against friend and rival Richie. Charizard fell asleep against Richie's Pikachu Sparky, causing Ash to be disqualified. This behavior changed in the episode Charizard Chills. Ash was battling Tad in his Poliwrath. Despite Ash saying don't use Flamethrower, Charizard continued using Flamethrower despite it not having effect on a Water-type Poliwrath. The battle ends after Charizard is completely frozen, except the flame, by Poliwrath's Ice Beam. Ash stayed up all night thawing out Charizard. This selfless act and love for his Pokemon reminded Charizard of everything he had done for it since he caught it. This gave Charizard a change of heart and obeyed Ash and defeated Tad in the rematch with a Seismic Toss. Charizard then became one of Ash's most powerful Pokemon, being used in Ash's final Orange Island gym battle to get the Jade Star badge, one of his 6 Pokemon used against Drake in the final battle in the Orange Islands, and even defeating Falconer's Pidgeot, or Pidgeot, however you want to pronounce it, in the Johto region, giving him the Zephyr badge. In Charizard's Burning Ambitions, Ash and friends reach the Pacific Valley, a home to a bunch of very powerful Charizard, watched by a girl named Lisa and her Charizard, Charla. Charizard first tried to prove itself and faced off against a few Charizard there and realized it was completely outclassed, even spent the night in a lake down below. At the end of this episode, and it's an emotional one, Ash releases Charizard to train in the Pacific Valley. Charizard has come back to visit Ash a few times and proven just how powerful it has become, even taking down Gary's Blastoise in the Johto League Silver Conference and Nolan's Articuno in the Symbol Life during Ash's time in the Battle Frontier. Charizard rejoins Ash's team in the fires of a red-hot reunion during the Best Wishes saga, being a rival to Iris's Dragonite. In the I Choose You movie, a different continuity to the main series has Ash reaching the Ryzen Mountains, and he tried to place his Rainbow Wing atop Rainbow Rock, but was stopped by Cross, a rival trainer in the movie who wanted the Rainbow Wing for himself. During the battle, Ash's Charmeleon, which as a Charmander was originally owned by Cross, evolved into Charizard. Charizard defeats Cross's Incineroar, and Cross realizes the error of his ways. Later on in the series, Trevor's Charmeleon has revealed to have evolved in the episode A League of His Own. Kiawe's Charizard. Kiawe owns a Charizard given to him by his grandfather. He often uses it as his personal ride Pokemon, a very common practice in the Alola region. Charizard has had a couple unofficial debuts in the series. First was Island of the Giant Pokemon, where Ash encounters a giant Charizard. In fact, it's even in the intro. However, that one turned out to be just a robot. Another one was in Primeape Goes Bananas, when Mankey takes Ash's hat. Ash explains why his hat was so important, referring to a contest commercial he watched on TV, and a Charizard and Blastoise were seen wearing that hat. One last anime appearance I want to mention is in the Pokemon Origins. Red's Charmeleon evolved between the second and third episode, sometime after defeating Koga. Charizard is seen in so many of the manga adaptations as well. The Ash and Pikachu manga, Ash's Charizard appeared in Off to the Battle Frontier, facing off against Nolan's Articuno. That sounds familiar. Electric Tail of Pikachu, Ash's Charizard first appears as a Charmander and You Gotta Have Friends, and then later appears as a Charizard in the Indigo Finals, where it has a battle with Richie's Charizard. Pokemon Nobunaga's Ambition, Ranzei's Color Picture Scroll manga, it's kind of a mouthful. Yukimura owns a Charizard, which debuted in Chapter 6. Pokemon Legend of the Dragon King manga features Akira, the main character, owning a Charizard. Mori also owns a Charizard. The Pokemon Battle Frontier manga, Raid, the main character's mentor, has a Charizard. The Pokemon Gotta Catch 'Em All manga, a trainer named Nagi owns a Charizard and battle against Shu and Skarmory. The Pokemon HGSS, Heart Gold Soul Silver, Joe's Big Adventure features Lance having a Charizard. Pocket Monsters Platinum, Aim to be King, there is an unknown trainer who uses a Charizard in Chapter 4. Pokemon Pocket Monsters manga, we see Green's Charizard. Green is the main rival to Red. His Charizard is mischievous and has a rivalry with Red's Clefairy. As a Charmander, it was able to evolve directly into Charizard, skipping the Charmeleon phase, but has reverted back into Charmander, but seems to have evolved back into Charizard permanently. In the Pokemon Zensho manga, Satoshi has a Charizard that was originally the Charmander he received from Professor Oak. And of course we can't forget about Pokemon Adventures and Blue's Charizard. In the chapter Calling Kadabra, it is revealed Blue's Charmeleon has evolved into Charizard. Blue was seen using it to fly into Saffron City and was also used alongside Red's Venusaur Sar and Green's Blastoise Blasty to defeat Thaphizer, a fused Zapdos, Moltres, and Articuno. His Charizard was also of course used in the Pokemon League. X's Charmeleon Salame evolved into Charizard against Xerotic's Pokemon in Charizard Transforms. Charizard is also featured in the games too. Of course, if you pick Bulbasaur, then your rival would pick Charmander that will eventually evolve into Charizard. You also can't forget that it is the mascot of two titles, Red and Fire Red. In Gold, Silver, and Crystal, as well as the remakes Heart Gold and Soul Silver, the champion of the Elite Four, Lance, has a Charizard. In Gold, Silver, and Crystal, his Charizard is level 46, and in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, his Charizard is level 48. Later in HGSS, when you rebattle Lance, his Charizard will be level 68. If you defeat all 16 gym leaders, then you can journey to Mount Silver and battle the game's final boss, Red. His Pokemon are all really high leveled, including a level 77 Charizard. Red returns in Black 2 and White 2 and can potentially use his level 50 Charizard in those games. In Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, and Ultra Moon, you can battle Red at the Battle Tree and has a Charizard at level 66 in Sun and Moon and level 70 in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. A couple side games where we can see a Charizard is in the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, where Charizard is part of the team ACT, or is it ACT, where he is on a team with Alakazam and Tyranitar. Charizard is also a boss Pokemon in Pokemon Ranger. Charizard is also a playable fighter in the Pokken Tournament game as a Power-type character. It can use Flamethrower, Fire Punch, Flare Blitz, and Seismic Toss. Upon Synergy Burst, it Mega Evolves, more on that in a minute, and can use the burst attack Searing Blaze. And of course, I can't forget about Super Smash Bros. Charizard has been featured in every Smash game so far. In the original and Melee, it is one of the many random Pokemon that can come out of a Pokeball. In Super Smash Bros. Brawl, it is under the ownership of the Pokemon Trainer character and can use Flamethrower, Rock Smash, and Fly. During its final smash, called Triple Finish, it uses Fire Blast along with Squirtle using Hydro Pump and Ivysaur using Solar Beam. While the Pokemon Trainer was taken out of Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U, Charizard remained a playable character. Its special side move Rock Smash became its special down move. Its special side move became replaced with Flare Blitz. Pokemon Trainer comes back in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and it appears that Rock Smash has gone away completely as the special down move is back to what it was in Brawl, and that is how the Pokemon Trainer swaps between the three Pokemon. Some additional trivia on Charizard before moving on is before Gen 6, Charizard had almost the exact same cry as Rhyhorn. This cry was updated and reused for Mega Charizard Y. I swear I'll get to Mega Evolutions in a minute. Charizard's name was the inspiration for the naming of the Chilicola Charizard, a species of stem-nesting bees. Not sure what that has to do with a dragon-looking Pokemon, but whatever. Charizard is the only Pokemon not in the Alola Dex to be a ride Pokemon in Pokemon Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, and Ultra Moon. Because of its beauty and elegance, the Driftvale Drawbridge in Unova is also referred to as Charizard Bridge. And lastly, Charizard is one of two Pokemon so far that have two Megastones. The other is Mewtwo. The first we will cover is Mega Charizard X. If Charizard is given the Charizardite X, first introduced in Pokemon X, Charizard goes through a temporary evolution called Mega Evolution. When Charizard Mega evolves with Charizardite X, not only does its color change, its type changes, and so does its ability. There is a special Pokédex entry specifically for Mega Charizard X in the Pokemon Let's Go games. The overwhelming power that fills its entire body causes it to turn black and creates intense blue flames. Charizard's flying type is changed into a dragon type. Remember what I said earlier about Charizard's influence was that of European dragons mostly being associated to fire and Western folklore? Well, that's likely where his fire and dragon dual typing comes into play. Charizard's ability is switched over to Tough Claws, which boosts the power of the Pokemon's moves that make direct contact by 30%. While its size doesn't change, it's still 5'7", its weight changes and gains about 44 pounds, making it 243.6 pounds or 110.5 kilograms. When it Mega Evolves, it sees a really nice boost in attack and defense and a decent boost in special attack. Base attack was 84, base defense was 78, and base special attack was 109. A shiny Mega Charizard X maintains the blue flames, but the body is green with red wings. There have been a couple appearances of Mega Charizard X in the anime. I would like to first mention Alon's Charizard, which first appeared in Mega Evolution Special 1. Alon's Charizard can Mega Evolve into Mega Charizard X. In the main series episode, A Meeting of Two Journeys, Alon encounters Ash and battles against Ash's Greninja. Alon became a new rival for Ash and makes it into the final round against Ash in the episode Finals Not for the Faint-Hearted in a 6-on-6 battle, which, oh man, was that an intense battle. Another appearance of Mega Charizard X I want to mention is in Pokemon Origins. In the 4th and final episode, Red's Charizard Mega evolved into Mega Charizard X during its battle with Mewtwo. It was the first Mega Evolution seen in the anime. Manga appearances would be X's Charizard, who has a hidden Charizardite X hidden in the flame of its tail, which can Mega Evolve whenever it wants. Lastly, game appearances. Already mentioned Pokken Tournament, but in Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U, Charizard's Final Smash, since there is no Pokemon Trainer, it Mega Evolves for its Final Smash, turning into Mega Charizard X. And now to move on to Charizard's other Mega Evolution. Charizard's other Megastone is Charizardite Y, which was introduced in Pokemon Y, allows Charizard to Mega Evolve into Mega Charizard Y. Unlike Mega Charizard X, its color and typing do not change. It stays orange, although its appearance does change slightly of course, and it maintains its fire and flying typing. Its shiny form for Mega Charizard Y is the same as base Charizard with charcoal gray with red wings. Its ability does change though, and it is given the Drought ability. Drought summons Harsh Sunlight as the Pokemon enters the battle, and effects are the same as the move Sunny Day. So Fire-type moves are strengthened in the Sunlight, and Solar Beam doesn't need a turn to take in Sunlight. In Gen 3, Sunny Day lasts the whole battle, but Gen 6 onwards, the Sunlight only lasts 5 turns unless the Pokemon is holding the Heat Rock, then it is extended to 8 turns. If Heavy Rain from Primal Kyogre's ability Primordial Sea, Extremely Harsh Sunlight from Primal Groudon's ability Desolate Land, or a Mysterious Air Current from Mega Rayquaza's ability Delta Stream is present, Drought will fail to activate. Just like Mega Charizard X, Mega Charizard Y's size doesn't change, keeping it at 5'7". Its weight does change slightly. It is a little heavier than base Charizard at 221.6 pounds or 100.5 kilograms. Its stats shown below see a slight boost in attack, previously 84, a pretty good boost in special defense, previously 85, but that special attack, that is a pretty nice boost right there. Previously 109, now 159. In fact, Mega Charizard Y has the highest special attack of all Fire-type Pokemon. While the Mega Evolution gives it some great special attack power, its Let's Go Dex entry talks more about its speed. It says, its bond with its trainer is the source of its power. It boasts speed and maneuverability greater than that of a jet fighter, which shows there are jet fighters in the Pokemon world too. Mega Charizard Y has characteristics of pterosaurs such as the Pteranodon. In the anime, we can see that Trevor's Charizard can Mega Evolve into Charizard Y. In the manga, I would like to point out Blue obtained a Charizardite Y in the X and Y chapter of the Pokemon Adventures manga and can Mega Evolve his Charizard into Y. That's all for now. I do apologize for this long video about Charizard, but there was a lot of information to share with you about this fan favorite Pokemon. Before I go, I do have a quiz question for you. Since we went on about dragons and Mega Evolutions, which of the following Mega Evolutions is not a dragon type? A. Mega Charizard X, which you already know that one. B. Mega Gyarados. C. Mega Ampharos. Or D. Mega Altaria. Come back next time for the answer. Until then, this has been Professor Pokemon, and hope to teach you again soon.